welcome to the Friends of DG live stream here. And this is the first video live stream. And this is a test live stream because I wanted to try out the Let's Go Live Together feature on YouTube. And so I am here with Jim from American Defender, and we're just going to chit chat and see how this all works. So it's going to be awesome. So that way later, anybody of my friends that want to come on the Friends of DG live stream, we can do it this way. So how you doing, Jim?
I'm tired.
You
I
tired?
just got back from the range.
Oh yeah, what'd you shoot today?
That AR-15 that I built, the one at 7.62 by 39.
Mm-hmm.
We took it out, ran 100 rounds of some PPU 123 grain through it, and I zeroed the Vortex Diamondback Tactical 6-24 by 50 that I used last year to win my competition.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've told you before, I'm state champion now in military retro long range precision. So I think I'm going to use that Bear Creek Arsenal build in the next competition here in the next few months. So I'm just getting it ready.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, we ran 100 rounds, no problem, dude.
Yeah.
No issues.
What brand ammo were you running through it?
The PPU.
Nice.
Serbian stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've got some PPU over here somewhere. Oh, it's in a box. I'm not messing with it. So it looks like it's beautiful weather out there in Arizona.
Yeah, it's a nice day today. It's a nice day. I got a clear skies. It's about 74 degrees right now. I got an airplane flying over us. And yeah, it's a nice day today. It is. It's a nice day today.
Well, if you hear my oven going off, well, my pizza must be done actually, so I guess it already went off. So I was Carissa already pulled it from the oven, but it was snowing earlier, and
Oh,
it's going to be a low of 11 tomorrow night.
not jealous at all.
No, man, it is. Hey, we've got 2 viewers. This is awesome. First ever video live stream on both sides. I was saying earlier that this is a test live stream because I am going to be going live with Fishing with Ali G next Wednesday night at 6 p.m. on our channel talking bass fishing. Now we have 13 people watching. This is awesome. But yeah, I'm kind of glad I figured this out. That way I don't have to call people on the phone anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that works.
Do you want to tell the people what I gave you and your wife for your guys' birthday?
Oh my gosh. This guy right here set my wife and I an absolute smorgasbord of fishing lures. Just all sorts of crap.
Just bass lures, yeah.
Yeah, just bass lures. And we're already planning our next trip, which would be about 2 weeks. Well, you can see I'm sitting out here with the boat, behind me. Because I was gonna, after I'm done with this, I'm gonna fire up the old Johnson here, and we're gonna get it ready to go out there to Bartlett. But just he went overboard because he's such a cool dude.
Right.
He absolutely just sniped us. I mean, he sent this big box and these cards and everything that he didn't have to do out of nowhere. And it was just such a surprise, and it was great. And we're very, very thankful for them. And like I've told you before, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
For everything you did for us.
You
didn't have to.
It was okay because I've got so much stuff that I bought and haven't used or whatever, and it was like I was going through my fishing lures anyways, and I started matching lures. So his wife got one color, he got the same bait in a different color, and 7 or 8 baits. It's just gave him some stuff that he lives in. He told me, he goes, we don't have these in Arizona.
Yeah, we don't. Like that Berkeley popper thing that you sent
Mm.
us.
Yeah.
Nobody around here in Arizona has them. Nobody has them. And this is kind of like when I was talking to you last year about doing tackle train.
Hmm.
That's kind of the reason I wanted to do tackle train, because there's stuff on the West Coast that people can get that you can't get on the East Coast, and vice versa. And
Right. I
so,
found those. I found those at Ollie's, and I guess they were sold in Japan because the packaging had Japanese writing on it.
yeah, they were
Yeah,
Japanese. They
it
were
was pretty
Berkeley
cool.
Japanese
Popping frogs.
explicit lures. Yeah,
Yeah.
I already put the hook in mine, and I was sitting in there in the sink with it popping it.
Right.
So
Did you? Yeah. I mean, it worked
I
pretty
got it to
good.
pop. It pops easy,
Sweet.
dude. It pops
Yeah.
easy, and it's
So,
got a little bit of an action when you go to pop it. It almost like it wants to walk.
huh.
It's really cool. So,
Oh, yeah. So I picked up some frogs of my own the other day to do some testing on. I'm always buying lures at the Walmart or whatever.
yeah.
Um, but hey, all the 14 people watching, if you guys want to comment down here, start a conversation. We're literally chit chatting. I'm doing this as a testing thing. Oh, hi,
Oh,
Kate. Hey.
hey.
His blanket matches your shirt.
Yes,
It
yes, it
does.
does.
My blanket
Yeah, what
right
you're
here.
sitting on. Look
Oh
down.
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's just covering my just a little fleece
Great,
blanket,
great
but
minds think alike.
they do. But I'll tell some stories on this thing. So I just did a review on a Lunker Hunt. Um, yeah, the blanket does match the shirt, but I just did a review on a Lunker Hunt Gambit swim bait, and I picked up a Lunker Hunt frog. But if you look,
Ooh.
it's got realistic legs that supposedly, when you move it, the legs go in and out. It looks so sunny and warm, freezing in New York. Hi,
Yeah,
Miss Emily.
it's
Go ahead.
74 degrees here in Arizona, and not a cloud in sight. You might hear airplanes though go over my head because I'm like right in the line of traffic for Mesa Gateway Airport.
So, can you see the chat on your side too,
Yep.
or is it just yeah?
Yeah, I
So,
can.
um, yeah, I'm in Indiana, and he's in Arizona, and he's one of my good friends. He has the American Defender YouTube channel. Y'all go check it out. Um, but I had this back in the day, and this actually won an ICAST award back in like. Hey, show and tell, how you doing? Back in like 2019, and my first ever topwater blow up was on a toad color of this exact frog. So they're
That's
like
pretty cool.
$7 at Walmart.
That's not
So
bad.
no, and then I got the old trusty Booyah Pad
Oh yeah.
Crusher. This is in blue and black though. I'm excited. I'm in Arizona, like 5 miles from Mesa Gateway Airport. So show and tell lives
Awesome.
right next to you.
Awesome.
And then I had
All
to
right.
get the Pad Crusher Junior in white, the littler one, so it's a lot smaller. And then I spent like $30 on frogs because I have a few. I have a Guggen frog one time, but it's like I wanted some different stuff. And then of course popping frogs. I had to go with the old Walmart special. And
Yeah.
the 2.5-inch topwater popping frog. This is
I
actually
have
in
that
the
exact frog, dude.
bullfrog color right here in
Yep.
green. And then I got the frog color, which is green and yellow.
Yep.
And then I got their yellow frog. You can share the link to your friend's channel. So yes, on this, I don't know if I can on this one right now. Uh, with
Just look up
the
American Defender channel. I'm the only one on
yeah,
there anymore. So
but on this one, I can only have one person on at a time, and I have to send them, and it's mobile only.
you're
Oh,
welcome.
you're welcome. Okay, you were asking a question. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you were telling us that we could on here. I know you can on other programs, but I'm brand new. This is my first video only live stream here. But it's mobile only, and I can send them an email with the link, or I can send it to their phone. So anybody that wants to do this with me, I'm going to need your phone number or whatever. Hey, the question popped up. Said added a question, a small thing that makes you happy. YouTube
Mine
randomly popped
says
up and asked me that question.
mine says words that make you laugh.
Huh. So one thing that makes me happy is, of course, the outdoors and fishing and being out in nature. What's one thing that makes you laugh? I guess, Jimmy.
Words
A
that make
word.
me laugh. The word
Hmm.
titillating.
Oh, titillating. Yeah, it works, man. Good job. Favorite brand of
True that.
frozen pizza? That's my question for you.
I got a question from Emily here. Is it true that fish are attracted to light? That it is illegal to fish with lighted lures? Not in Arizona. I don't know about Indiana.
Hmm.
What
I
about
know
it?
fish are probably attracted to light because I know they're attracted to glow in the dark lures that they make, which kind of
Yeah,
lights it up. But I'm not sure about that either. I've never heard of someone saying it is illegal or isn't illegal. Uh,
yeah. I know.
yeah.
I know we're allowed to here because I do it all the time.
Hi, Granny. I hope you're doing okay, and your mother too. She's awesome. I look at Granny like another grandma. So
Well,
she's
that's cool.
basically YouTube family. Um, Shrimp like the green light. So
I'll have to remember that next time I'm around shrimp.
yeah. So Granny, if you didn't notice, I got my the poster, the not the poster, the fake fishing fisherman's magazine of the catch of that fish up there on the wall now. And I'm turning this into my little live stream studio. Eventually, right here's gonna be a little 6x6 frame thing that's got a crankbait on it that says bait and tackle and it lights up. So I'll have that. I just don't want to go crazy because Carissa's like it's our living room, so But
Yeah, and we all know how you are. If she lets you go crazy, you're going to have a wall full of like rubber worms and lures and all
yeah,
sorts of
so
stuff behind you.
so I'm a you'll get a kick out of this. I'm now a member of the
Let me turn this. I get a little
OnlyFins.
glare.
There you go. The OnlyFins Facebook YouTube page, not OnlyFans, but OnlyFins. And I posted the picture of the replica. Oh, cool. It is still your home and hers. Yeah, exactly. I can't. She, yeah, she'll say something. Are you gonna hang up one of those singing fish? Haha. No, but I love that. That's pretty cool. And this
I'll hang one
magazine
up though.
cover, I'll show you guys the magazine cover real quick. Oh, so on Facebook, they were running ads on these fake magazine covers, and this one's called Fisherman Magazine, and you could change all the like headliners and stuff on here, but it says special edition April 2025, and it says beginner's luck right here. I changed it. It said first time to Monroe Reservoir because back I caught it at the Monroe Reservoir, and I used a picture of me with the fish. But it says Indiana largemouth bass. YouTuber reels in the fish of a lifetime. And the story of the DG Outdoors channel is what it says right there. It says springtime tactics, the secrets of successful bass fishing, catch of a lifetime, and then Guggen baits. Are they worth the hype? Well, I had set out with a challenge for myself to only use Guggen baits, and 3 out of my 4 biggest largemouth bass were caught on a Guggen bait product. This was on a Guggen Squad bumper, which is the white spinner bait you probably can't really see up there, but I caught it on blue and black one. And then my other two. I caught one on a bandito bug, which actually is the #1 selling soft plastic ever for a creature bait, was the Guggen bandito bug. And then we looked into prices for the Indiana game coming up, and it's $2,000. It said I will be
Woo!
home watching. Woo! And then
That's
this, my very
we were
first
just
one I
talking
caught
about
on.
we were
Yeah,
just talking about ticket prices yesterday. Remember when I was mentioning Metallica tickets?
yeah.
Jeez Louise.
My my 5.5 pound bass was caught on a Texas rigged worm. This exact worm right here, a Guggen bait Slim Shake finesse worm. It smells like licorice. They have the thing called the chalant sauce, and this is filled with salt too.
Taste it.
So
No.
they're gonna want me to kiss a fish the next big one I catch. I've heard that's a thing. I've never done it, but I like these little clamshells because it keeps your baits all nice and
Yeah. Yeah,
uh,
they do.
all nice and up. So yeah, that's the story of my bass. It says I like the worms myself. You should contact them about a sponsor. They do an affiliate program, but I am nowhere near as good of a fisherman or have all the fishing content enough to. Is it a thing to? It is.
Smooch
It's
the
it's
fish.
kind of like to smooch a fish. Yeah. I see people doing it, but I probably won't. Man, you don't know what's in these waters. If I don't fall over, I'll have to hang that up right
Well, you go
later.
ahead and
I'll
kiss
just
that
hang
fish.
that later. It's crooked. It's got a
I
little hole in the back. I'll fix it later.
I ain't
Um,
kissing no catfish.
so here's the thing: Salt Creek, the creek that runs right by my house, and I've got videos catching fish, catching bass after bass there, and bluegill, and a good 4 or 5 pound catfish. At least a solid four. That one I sent you a picture of, Jimmy.
Yeah,
Um,
that one you sent me today about the Zebco 202. Did you notice in the background? Did you get my message on it?
yeah, but that guy actually the taxidermist was the one that mounted that, so I don't think it's fake. I just don't think the Zebco 202 was in the picture.
Yeah, because I didn't see it anywhere. I saw two Mad Cat rods, and one of them was pulled in.
Yeah,
So
so
I'm
what it was
assuming
is
that that was the rod it was caught on.
no, so the taxidermist itself from River's Edge Reproduction posted that replica that he did, and the guy won the 2024 something some contest with that 53-pound catfish that he caught, and he said in there that the guy caught it on a Zebco 202.
That's
So I
interesting.
don't think the taxidermist would lie. That's the
Maybe,
thing that
maybe
said
not.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, who knows?
but he
You know how fish tails are.
yeah, but the thing had the split whisker, which was kind of cool. That
That
he
is
thought
kind
was
of cool.
neat, and it was a and he was that was a yellow catfish, right?
That was a
Yeah,
flathead.
it was yellow.
Yeah, that's what they call them back east. Or it was a flathead. They call them
No,
yellow
not a
cats and all that.
catfish. No, Granny
Yeah.
doesn't do it. No.
See,
I'm not talking about kissing catfish.
no, I said I won't kiss no catfish. I said you go ahead and kiss your bass. I ain't kissing no catfish.
Well, anybody can kiss my bass.
I go to kiss a
Speaking of
catfish and
bass,
swallow my head.
let's talk about this crap right here. So it says membership due notice. My membership's due in April, right? But right now they've got a sale going on for 3 years for $38, and I'm supposed to be saving $122.65, and plus 4 free gifts. But down here, if you read, it says the quickest way to renew is to call Bass. So, or to get on their website. So I did. Well, this offer's not even on their website. So the only offer is like the 1 year for 17 or 5 years for 120.
Mm-hmm.
And that I have to renew by 127.26. But if I have to mail this, I mean, I guess I could call them and ask, call them tomorrow, because
Yeah,
I would rather pay $38 for 3 years than 120 for 5. I mean, I like their magazines and stuff, and
yeah.
I want to
Uh,
support Bass habitat and all that stuff. But
I wish there was a company like Bass, but for cat fishermen. I wish they had that, where they had Catfish magazine.
yeah,
I
that'd
wish
be
they
cool.
had that, but they don't. Not that I
What did
know
I
of, at
see
least.
earlier that was catfish?
Up. Did you see the
Something.
comment there? Granny said she's kissed toads.
Uh-oh. You're gonna get the warts, Granny. Gotta watch out. No warts. No. Let's see. It said I don't get any magazines anymore. They all have too many ads and cost too much. Well,
Amen.
mine come with the subscription. And here's the thing: like I like Bassmasters, and actually I have a whole bunch of Bassmasters DVDs. Uh, so I have my Bassmasters DVDs. I have like one in Fisherman because I gave my other two to Jimmy, and then I have
Thank you.
what's the new one? What's the new one I just got? Linder Nerd Edge. Those for hard bait for bass. I've got basically if there was a bass DVD from him other than smallmouth, I like his programming, so I bought them. And the good thing about these are if my internet goes out for a month again, and then I've got the DVDs to watch. So yeah, so this is really cool.
Yeah. I didn't know we could do this, or I'd be going live on my channel again.
Well, now we can start doing it. We can talk
Yeah, now I can
live
have you over there
on.
on my channel.
Yeah, all you gotta do is hit me a link. As well, sometimes you like to, well, not that I'm not awake at that time of night, but we'd have to think about a good time to do it. So I'm not up till 3 o'clock in the morning on a
Well,
night that I
normally
have
when
to
I do
work.
my live streams, when I used to do live streams, I quit doing them because people quit watching. And I think that's got to do with algorithmic suppression and all that. I won't go into all that, but uh, I quit doing live streams because, I used to get 100, 200 people in the live stream at times. And then all of a sudden, it was just like I get one person, they'd be there for 3 minutes and then they're gone. And I would do the live streams. If I remember right, it was every Thursday, 6 o'clock Arizona time, which is 8 o'clock Eastern time.
Yeah,
Well, at least it would be 8 o'clock now. It's 9 o'clock when daylight savings time is over with. But
it, that would actually work
that's
for me.
when I used to do them. But I can adjust that. And I did that according to my analytics because it said that's when most of the people were on. But I quit
Right.
doing them. I've talked about some of the stuff I've discovered with YouTube and what's going on my channel and everything. So
So
anybody watching, you can.
Granny was asking who you are and where you're at because she missed it at the beginning.
I am
So
American Defender. My name is Jim, and I'm in Arizona.
yeah,
Right. Well, I'm down here, like I like to call it, the sand pit, because that's basically what I live in. I live in the desert, so that's where we are.
yeah.
I am a native Arizonan.
I don't think I can do a live stream without some sort of show and tell. It's kind of become my thing. People like it,
Yeah,
so
I would
yeah.
do a show and tell, but you would get a strike if I did.
No, man. One day we'll go on your channel and you can show off catfish rigs and things you use, or
Yeah,
your favorite lures and things like that. We got all kinds. I go live Tuesday night at 8 p.m. She does, and she has a great her and her 86-year-old mother, and they're both a hoot, and I love watching them. They're like I said, they're basically family. If
yeah,
you want to do a live stream sometime, the Thursday night at 6 Eastern, so my time, or 8 my
yeah,
time, 6 your time, would work good for me because I wouldn't have anything going on a Thursday night normally, unless I've got to
yeah,
work a double. Then I'd be like, hey, I can't do it tonight or whatever. So
yeah. I could do
yeah,
it that, or I could do it 4 o'clock my time, which would be 6 o'clock your time. I never could
yeah,
quite get the timing thing down because it just, I don't know, the whole thing with YouTube now. I've been on YouTube since 2009,
yeah.
and everything I went through. But it's just been. The channel will start taking off, and then we can't have that, and then close it down. You know, so
You
but
told me you had uh, not a nip tuck, an uptick in viewership and subscribers
yeah,
here recently a little bit.
I did, and I can't explain it. I don't know what
So
it was. I had been stuck. See, originally, folks, my channel, my subscriber numbers were higher than DG's. and I wanted to help him get his numbers up. And so I've been kind of talking to him about YouTube and stuff I've learned. I've been stuck at 2,860 for like the last year and a half. And then out of nowhere, within the last couple of days, I jumped up to 2,877, just out of nowhere, unexplainably. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm happy for it, but yeah, my goal was for 2025 to hit 3,000 subs, and I didn't do it. So, but either which way,
2025 was a good year for me. Good, well, a good year as in I met a lot of great people, started a great community, started doing these live streams, things started hitting off for me. But I also let my anxiety and things in my head get to me, so I stopped posting as many videos and things like I normally would do. So now I'm trying to pick that back up and not be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna post this video because what if someone thinks something about me or said something?" I'm
yeah,
gonna have
I
to
get
not
it.
care and just do what I want to do because it's my channel.
Yes,
But I'm also learning now with this thing. Thank you, Ali G. I know you're probably not watching this, but she's the one that sent me the information so that next Wednesday I can start doing this and it'll be really cool and things like that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. I've been trying to do this kind of a YouTube live stream now for years, and I could never figure out how to do it. But of course, I think at the time I was doing my live streams real heavy, which was before 2021.
Yeah.
This wasn't an option.
I think 3 years ago is when they rolled this feature out. So all you would do is go to, like what where you upload a short or whatever, and you hit that and you hit go live, and then it'll say go live together, and you do that. You put like you're not appropriate for kids or whatever, and then you slide down like you can schedule it. So I can schedule one and send you the link to say, okay, at this time 6 p.m. we're gonna do this. Title
Yeah,
it out, put the thumbnail up, and then and it'll work that way. Or we do. The cool thing is there's a preview right before this. So we talked for a good 7 minutes before we went live, and we had an audio issue on his end, and we fixed it, and everything was good. And now it's just like but you can only do it on your mobile phone, and that's what I want to tell people. It's like, so I either need your email or your personal phone number to send you a link, and then it'll say waiting for guests, and you can only do one person at a time. But I think I can schedule people out. So let's say Christmas time, I want to have 5 of my best friends on here, then we can do like 20-minute time slot. And what's cool with this is it's free.
yeah,
So because I'm already using YouTube, I have Zoom. I'd have to figure out how to run Zoom through YouTube, and then with the free version, I only have 30-minute time spans before it'll kick unless you're the host, it'll kick that person out. This I can talk for hours on end, um, and
yeah,
it'll work good. Hi CL, welcome to the first ever video live stream with American Defender. Now we get to put a face to the voice here. We're
yeah.
just chit chatting about everything fishing and how this is how the Friends of DG live streams are going to go now. So, um, hi Junkyard, what's up, Captain? He's giving me the old salute. Wrong side. Salute. Yeah, fist bump. Anyways, and what's cool about this is he can see the chat, I can see the chat. He can stop me, whatever. I mean, granted, well, it doesn't matter what platform you use. If you run it through YouTube, you're still gonna have to abide by the policies and stuff, but that's no big deal.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, this is cool
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
because I don't have to
So
do anything different. What's up?
let's take this live stream into the world of interesting. You want to do that?
Are you gonna ask Rock a question, basic fishing question, and we'll go from there?
No, I was gonna say, Daniel, what do you think about going into the paranormal like I do on my live streams?
That'd be cool on your like I would join you and talk about paranormal, but the only thing paranormal I watch Ghost Hunters. I mean, that's about it.
Yeah.
Like I'm not too unless you're talking about like UFOs and all that
Yeah,
kind of stuff.
UFOs, Bigfoot, that kind of stuff. Because I talk about that. Like I've told everybody on my channel about my experience back in 1993. I think I told you about it, didn't I?
Yeah, on the phone, but you've never told these people, so we'll start
Oh,
it off. Here we go.
okay. So it was 1993. I was probably 10 or 11 years old at the time. So Shasta Lake, California. We were on a vacation, going to see my grandmother in Salem, Oregon. We pull over in a rest stop, and we were in an old GMC van. Well, by old at that time, it was an '88 GMC. Really nice van, either way. So we pull over in this conversion van to sleep for the night, to go on to the next morning to go on into Salem. And I'm asleep in the back of the van, and I keep hearing this like sound of something going through a trash can. And the bathroom and the dumpster was like right behind our van, maybe 50, 75 feet away. Okay. And so it wakes me up, and then I got to go to the bathroom. So I stand up, I tell my parents, hey, I'm going out there, going to the bathroom. They're like, okay. I get out the door, and the second I open the door, I smell this smell that the only way I know how to describe it is dead, rotten meat mixed with skunk. That is the only way I know how to describe it. And that isn't even really touching on the smell too accurately. All right. I get to the back of the van. All right. I get out. I get to the back of the van. I'm sitting there, and there, digging in the trash can, is this creature with orangish kind of brown hair, about 8.5, 9 feet tall, looked like a gigantic orangutan. That's the best way I know how to describe it. Looked right at me and kind of grunted a couple times. And then within 3, 4 real good strides, was back off into the forest. It scared me a little bit, but I really had to pee. So, being a kid that was born in Arizona and I'd never heard of Bigfoot or Sasquatch or anything, I just thought California had really big apes or big creatures that looked like apes or orangutans or something like that out there. So I went and peed, and I got back in the van and I went back to sleep. Uh, but it wasn't until later on that year that I ran across a book at the library here, and I learned that what I had seen was Sasquatch. And so I was like, whoa, I've seen one of those. And so I told my parents about it. They're like, you didn't tell us about that. I'm like, yeah, I did. You're 80 years old. You don't remember yesterday, So,
Right.
but yeah, I saw Sasquatch. And then I've talked also on my live streams a couple times, and I've caught him 2 times. All right. Sitting right here out in the sky, over my neighbor's tree back here. What I believe might possibly be UFOs, because you'll see these little they're way up in the sky, but they're these little lights, and I thought they were satellites at first, but they're not satellites, because satellites go on a consistent trajectory,
Mhm.
and these aren't on a consistent trajectory. These things are doing this. They come up, they sit still, and boom, hard 90, back down, boom, circle, 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 boom, 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 and they're bouncing around up there. And oh, look at this. See it? Matt right there. He saw one past September. Yeah, see, Bigfoot's
Yeah.
real. He's an ape. All right.
Right.
But uh I'd be really interested in hearing his experience. But yeah, I've seen UFOs. I now know that I saw Bigfoot. I thought it was a big monkey. And I've also had paranormal experiences in my grandmother's house. I think I've told you about my grandmother's house.
Well, I don't know if I ever told you about my one paranormal experience. Um, my entertainment center used to be it had like a dual cassette tape player on the bottom. In the middle was like your volume knobs and everything, but then on the top I had a 6 disc CD changer. I used to go to sleep, and I was probably in 10th grade with
Mm-hmm.
with my stereo going. Well, one night I remember looking and I thought I saw this like old man walking into my entertainment center. The
Oh
volume
wow,
all the way up out of nowhere. I shot up straight out of bed because I saw this with my own eyes. Went all the way up. My dad came shooting like, "What the hell are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm not doing anything. The radio turned up by itself." And until this day,
that's crazy.
I can't explain it.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. You saw a full bodied apparition.
Yeah, yeah, but it's only ever happened that once, and it's not like my house was haunted or anything. It's a normal house. Just he, I, he. That's why they call it the unexplained.
Yeah, yeah. I've seen a lot of stuff in my grandma's house. My dad wants to write a book about all the experiences he had in that house while he lived in it because he had a lot of stuff happen to him. My aunt has had stuff happen to her directly. I've had stuff happen to me in that house. Um, and the house is up there for people that are familiar with Mesa, Arizona. It's off Dobson and University off of a street called Pecan. I won't give you the address, but that's about the area, so people know the area. Um, but like my dad one day came home from work. He used to work at TRW. It was really late, all right, really late at night. It was like 2, 3 in the morning. He walks into the kitchen. He's making his coffee, and out of nowhere, he just feels this like electrical feeling in the air. And he looks over on the floor, and there's this blue ball just sitting there. And the next thing you know, it just takes off at him and boom, hits him in the leg and backs off again. And he said he went running out of that house, ran all the way out in the middle of the street. Was like, "What the heck was that?" And he saw that. He also saw a blue figure. A friend of his was over there sleeping on the couch, and he saw a blue figure kneeling down next to her, and she had 3 scratches on her back
Hmm.
from it, which is a mocking of the Trinity, allegedly.
Right.
And so the blue, I've looked into this myself, and the color blue in an entity like that is usually associated with demonic activity from everything that I could find. Um,
I'm thinking too. It's like where you live and the history from the 1800s and mine shafts and things like that. Like where I'm at, though, you would think it's weird. You can walk outside my house, and because the power line strips, you can hear the popping and the electricity from the
yep.
power line strip, which I've never seen any ghost in here. I literally can walk out my door across the driveway. There's all the limestone from the stone quarry right there. You walk right across the power line strip over here, and there's another stone quarry. You would think because of where I'm at and all this electricity and the limestone and the things that are underneath the ground would have a higher chance of having paranormal experiences.
Hmm.
I just never have. But 15 minutes down the road, there's a town called Mitchell, Indiana. Mitchell, Indiana has a haunted house called Whisper Estates.
I've heard of
And
Whisper Estates.
they have a YouTube documentary. You will see a table literally like go across the floor, the bed moves or a ball. And there was a doctor in there that got in trouble for malpractice. I can't remember all the details. You guys can literally type in Whisper Estates from Mitchell, Indiana, and it is a true haunted house, and I won't go in there.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, I don't like being around the stuff, but
I
it
say, oh, I'd love to go to the haunted house every Halloween, and I like watching ghost hunters and things like that. I just can't bring myself to actually do it.
yeah,
So,
yeah, I don't want to be around it. I don't want to be around it because, like I said, I've had personal experiences there in my grandmother's house, and the experience that I had was the opposite of my dad's. My dad saw the blue figures. What I saw was a woman in a white dress and in period dress, like late 1800s.
hmm
And I was laying down in the bedroom, and all of a sudden the bedroom was lit up, and she just appeared out of the light, and then gone. That same woman in a white dress. Now there was a friend of the family that had cancer that stayed in that room, and she was on her deathbed. And that same woman in a white dress showed up in her room. And the very next day, this her name was Janie, the lady that was staying with the friend of the family. She was staying in that room. The next day, she was supposed to go in for chemotherapy. They went in to do the chemotherapy, but the people at the chemotherapy place said, "We have no record of you ever being here." She'd been going there for like 6 weeks, and they had no record of her ever being there. And so they went in and they looked into things. They ended up drawing blood on her, um, and they couldn't find any traces of cancer at all. So this really perplexed her. They went back to her PCP and said, "Hey, this is what's going on. We don't know what's going on with all of this." And the PCP was like, "Okay, well, according to your tests, you don't have cancer and you never have." And so she was stage 4, and it was just gone like that. So we don't know what happened. We don't know if
Answered
it was,
prayers, my dude.
yeah, probably.
Yep.
When I saw that woman in white, I was going through a rough time in my life, and it was just like when I saw her, the words "everything's going to be okay," and there's more to it that I'm not going to divulge here, but it kind of just telepathically went into my head, and then she was gone. But there's a lot of crazy stuff going on out there that people don't know about. A lot.
So
And
working in a nursing home,
oh, I bet.
okay, working in a nursing home, I was working in our sister facility in Bloomington, and it was like 7 o'clock in the morning. The hall is super quiet. There's not a TV on, and I can hear these whistling voices and people talking. And so I'm like, okay, this is weird. There's nobody down on that end of the hall. So I go down there, and there was not a TV on, not a person in these rooms. And I swear to goodness, I heard voices talking and
Yeah,
whistling.
yeah. I
And
had
we
a I
had,
had a bout for a while in my house because the house I live in, I've told you the stories about stuff that's happened to me in my house. But I had here recently a thing where I would out of nowhere start hearing a choir singing,
hmm,
and I thought it was just tinnitus. That's what I thought it was. I thought, okay, it's my ears. You know, so I went into the doctor, had the doctor look at my ears and everything, and he set me down in a quiet room, didn't make any noise. And I sat there for maybe 2, 3 minutes. He asked, "Did you hear any ringing in your ears?" I said, "No, I don't hear a ringing in my ears. I don't hear anything." I came home after that, walked in, laid down on my bed, and there they were, a choir. I was hearing a choir, and I, I I haven't heard it for a while, but it was weird. It was really weird. It's unexplained. I don't know what to say about it. I don't know what it was. And then I've told you about that instance because the people that lived in my house. Sorry about the airplane, folks. Uh, the people that lived in this house before me died in my house, and I don't know if that means anything or not. But when I moved into my house, we had a lot of weird paranormal things going on. We had a lot of pictures of Jesus that we had on our wall and Bibles and stuff. The pictures one day we came home, all of our pictures of Christ were turned upside down. And so I walked around and I turned them all back over. I went and sat down on the couch, and it wasn't 30 seconds after I sat down on the couch, one of my Bibles went flying across the room at me. I mean, I don't have a big living room, but either way, just out of nowhere, this Bible just shoom, like someone threw it across the room at me. And so we had to have church come in at the time, and we did a blessing on the house and everything calmed down since then. But I mean, we had some weird stuff, footsteps coming on, people knocking, like someone was knocking on the windows. Really
mhm.
weird stuff. But I see a comment here from Alienated Aliens. It says things that are not from this world. People think I'm crazy or on drugs, but hey, it's a lonely world for me because I live a physical life and a spiritual one. You're not alone.
I'll tell you something it's not paranormal, but before I hit 1,000 subscribers, I had a friend. I call him a friend, but we no longer talk. He had a YouTube channel started. His name is Brian Mueller, and he used to like hit my comment section so hard. But he's like, bro, you're gonna blow up at some point. He goes, God's gonna bless your channel and you're gonna blow up. Like, yeah, man, like I'm not saying I didn't believe him,
Hmm.
but like the way he's like, dude, you're gonna have millions of subscribers and DG Outdoors channel is gonna go somewhere. And I just kind of be like, yeah, like I kind of believed him a little bit. Now it takes a while for certain things to come to fruition because our time's not God's time.
Exactly.
And I heard somebody say something the other day and it makes sense to me. It's like I've been on YouTube for almost 7 years. I have just over 3,200 subscribers now. And that's considered slow growth if you actually look at it. But if I was to gain these subscribers right off the bat, I don't think I'd appreciate it as much. And the fact that with the money and whatever, and I'm not making more, I'm making $160 every other month on YouTube. It's not, you know,
Yeah, YouTube
a
is
whole
not the
bunch of
place to
money.
go if you want to make a career out of it.
No, not unless you have Patreon and all that kind of stuff. With me just doing just straight AdSense, and
Yeah,
I did have a membership for 99 cents a month, but I just took it down the other day because no one was doing it, and I'm like,
yeah,
I really didn't like it to begin with because I'm like, people can see my content for free now. My merch store, I don't set those prices, so it's whatever the merch store wanted to sell it at, but I'm gonna keep that up. I sold two products, I think, so far.
yeah,
Uh, but back to earlier when I said about growing and the sense of community, I've made more friends since I've started in the last 6 months than I have on my whole thing of YouTube.
yeah. Well, that's how
So
we met because you
this is
came over to
cool.
my channel.
Yeah, and
During,
Ali G, like I was one of her first subscribers.
hmm.
Um, just Scott and all these people, they're awesome. Perlman. Hey Perlman, so you wanted to go live with me on a Friends of DG live stream. Um, there's a way I can do that. If you have one day I'll contact you. If you have an email, I'll send you an email and I can put this link in here now that we can do these live streams like that as long as you have 50 people or 50 subscribers. And we can sit back and talk about hunting and fishing. He's going mule deer hunting, or he was mule deer hunting. Perlman was, which is pretty
Yeah, I
cool.
don't think. I wish we could do that here in Arizona. I don't think in Arizona we even have mule deer.
No,
I
you
think we
have
just have.
coon deer, right?
Yeah, we have coos deer and we have. I think it's
Blacktail.
whitetail.
Is
I
there
think we have
blacktail?
whitetail. No, I think it's
You
whitetail.
got you have elk.
Yeah. Well, like I was telling you, there was a survey or whatever done on our deer population versus our elk population last year here in Arizona. For every one deer we have six elk. We have way more elk here. Way,
Yeah.
especially up north, way more elk. And which is probably why I've been more of an elk hunter than I have a deer hunter in the past. I don't hunt anymore because I'm too busted up and broken. But you know, uh, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. You need to Arizona. I'm in Arizona. If you get up around Heber, Overguard area, um, that's where you'll find the elk way up north. Down here in the valley where I am, we have coos deer, however you say it. Uh, that's what we have. God for created us a relationship for Him, but sent us die for us now. All God is repent and confess your sins. Amen. Jesus is
I
King.
agree with that, dude. We're all
Yep.
uh, I put in for an elk tag in Idaho, but I didn't get it. Oh man.
I'm sorry.
Hey. Yeah. That's pretty cool though.
I wish that's one thing. One of the reasons why I kind of stopped hunting is that whole lottery system. I think it's stupid. I think the lottery system is stupid. I know you and I have talked about this before,
Yeah,
especially
I'm in
with the number of
yeah.
elk that we have here. You should be able to go to any. You should be able to go to Game and Fish or whatever. Go, I want to hunt elk. Pay them and the price to get a tag now here in Arizona. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. It's like $350 or something like that for a tag. just for a
Do they not
tag.
have? Do they not have over the counter like you go to Walmart and you just buy a
Nope,
hunting license and you go? It's all
nope.
draw.
It's all draw,
That's why I
all of
like
it.
Indiana. Now,
Yeah.
out of state is like $250 for whatever
Well, I
you're
understand
buying,
that.
but
Yeah, but yeah, yeah.
and I pay
For
for a deer license. I pay 41, so or 40 or whatever it is. So it's not so bad.
yeah. I wish we
So
had that. I wish we
we
had a deal
got.
where.
I mean, we don't have a time limit really. We've been on for 50 minutes, but I want to ask you a question. I don't think we ever talked about in here. Was it your dad or your grandpa that got you into fishing, or like what was the when you started? How was all
It was
that?
my dad. It was my dad. My dad was the fisherman, and he used to take. Oh, jeez, Perlman, that's ridiculous. Uh, he started taking me fishing when I was probably 3 or 4. We used to go to a park in Tempe called Kiwanis Park, and my very first fish I caught was a channel cat. So that's kind of why I've stuck with cat fishing. Bluegill came later,
Yeah.
but that's how I started, and that's how I learned. Like when I was telling you about the water dog bombers,
Mm-hmm.
I know it's bomber water dog. I've said it for years, water dog bomber. So
You're good.
either way, that's how I learned about those and a lot of the old head and baits and things, was because that's what I was learning on as a kid. Was a lot of those old baits and things that were passed down to my dad from my grandfather. But my dad was always more of a bait fisher than anything, and so it was always liver, corn, hot dogs, dough baits. When my dad was a little boy, teenager, he grew up in Illinois, in the Mattoon and Decatur area, and there was an area called the hot water ditch. You would fish for carp using weedy bowls,
Hmm.
and so he passed that along to me. But Roman says, "Is it nice there in Arizona?" I'm in Pittsburgh. It is 74 degrees today, clear skies. It's fantastic here today,
Man, he'd be
weather-wise.
traveling from Pennsylvania all the way to Idaho if he would have got that tag. So not
Yeah,
only are you paying $700-800 on top of the $400 to $500 plane ticket, unless you drove, then you'd have to do hotels and gas money unless you were in a lodge. That's an expensive trip, my man.
it
And if you
is.
got skunked, that would yeah. But for me personally, here in Indiana, I ordered my state park pass for so I don't have to pay $7 entrance fee. So that means this spring and summer we're going to be going to a lot of different state parks all over the state, and I'm going to try to catch fish in all those places off of docks and ramps and wherever else. I am. I'm driving there in October for mule deer. Well, that'll be cool. That'll be cool. Does mule deer taste the same as whitetail? Because I know they eat different things. You know.
I don't see why they wouldn't.
I mean, venison's venison, but I mean, grass
Yeah,
fed versus like beef, grass fed versus whatever feed, they have a different taste to them,
you
a
think
different
so?
look. I'm pretty sure.
I've had both. I've never noticed a difference.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm just thinking. Maybe it's like people say that brown eggs taste better than white eggs.
Yeah.
Really, they
Well,
taste the same. It's just we think they're creamier, but it's all depends on the breed of chicken, depending on whether you get white
I got
or.
I got mosquitoes flying around me, dude. So
That is so weird. It's January and there's mosquitoes. I
yeah,
guess there's Antarctic mosquitoes. Those
yeah.
things are
These are
bigger.
these little suckers here in Arizona. We've got this weird mosquito, mostly down here in the Southwest. You guys probably got them too, but they're itty bitty little mosquitoes, and they don't stay in stagnant pools. They lay their eggs in the ground, and whenever we have a heavy rain that comes on, the eggs hatch and then they come out. And well, the last month or so, we've had our heavy rain season here, so the mosquitoes are just going nuts. And I mean, it's nowhere near as bad as it would be in Georgia, but these little suckers, man, they they'll chew you up, man. They'll eat you up.
So, Perlman, you said that's your fit. It's my first ever out of state trip hunt. So you're going archery, and I believe I've seen your Florida mosquitoes are
Oh, I
vicious, dude. They'll carry you off to Cuba.
yeah.
You gotta be careful. All right, they'll carry you off to Cuba. So I'm guessing you got a bow. I've seen your bow, but I don't remember what kind of bow you have, Perlman. Um, so, but yeah, I'll probably stay on for another 5 minutes, and then I've got food that I need to eat, and we'll be on for an hour. And this is cool. I like this. I like this
Yep.
setup.
Yep. Next time I won't be outside. Next time we do this, I'll do it from inside. I just wanted to come outside because Jen was sleeping.
It's
So
okay. Yeah, I mean, at least it's nice out.
yeah.
No, I changed
Huh,
to rifle. The elk would have been archer. Oh, okay. So what rifle? You said 350 Legend, right? I think, or
correct.
maybe no. Maybe you said what kind of rifle are you using?
I'd like to try 400 Legend. I'm thinking about building an AR upper in 400 Legend.
I didn't even know they made such a thing.
Yeah, it's relatively new within the last, I don't know, year and a half.
Oh, okay.
It's the same concept as a 350 Legend, where it's just a 9mm cartridge stretched out. 7mm PRC and 6.5 PRC. There you go.
That'll put a wall up on some elk, dude.
That'll do
Five,
it.
600 yards, dude. You'll drop them like a sack of potatoes.
Yeah, when I was
So,
hunting elk, I would either use a 308 or a 300 Win Mag, either one. Um, and actually, I think I told you about the time that I was hunting elk with 44 Magnum,
yeah.
which is a
They probably
handgun
like
with a
it
Smith and
for.
Wesson 29.
Yeah, tell them
How
that
I
story.
how I used to do that. I would find a tree and I would sit up against the tree and I had this blanket and the blanket I just lay the blanket up over me and the blanket looked like a big mossy chunk. All right. And so I would lay in that. It had a slit cut out in it for my eyes and everything. And I would just sit there and I would find the path that the elk were running in. And I would just sit there. I wouldn't have to be in a stand. I wouldn't be in a blind. I'd just be sitting on the ground with my 44 Magnum and this blanket over me. And they'd come running through and I would just reach out with that 44. Boom, right there. Right in the noggin with a 44 Magnum with a 240 grain hard cast. You know,
Um,
20, 25 yards away. It was
yeah.
fun. It was fun. I miss it. I had an elk uh, calf one time while I was in that blanket. Walk up and start sniffing the blanket. I'm like, Dad, gummit, why do you have to be a calf? you know. But yeah, I'm not going to take no calf. I actually think that's illegal now, but it probably was
Yeah.
then.
The coolest
But
experience I had deer hunting this year was the hunt that I went with Carissa, and we were sitting, and I just built that little makeshift blind in between my other blinds. The one behind the house was 40 yards behind me. The other one I could see, but we had this doe come in behind me. She kind of picked us off, but she slowly walked off, back towards the power line strip. But then I looked behind me again, and there's this doe walking across my front yard, going, bah, bah. I'm like, what the heck is she doing? And she's like walking at a good pace. And I'm like, man, if we were in my actual blind facing the persimmon trees, I could have got a shot at her if I could have stopped her. Well, I'm kind of glad I didn't because about 4 minutes later, here she comes walking back out with her fawn. Her fawn had been laying in the mowed part of the power line strip,
yeah,
and I didn't know it. I would have felt bad. Would I have done anything wrong? No, because I didn't know that she had a fawn, but I would have felt bad. But I'm kind of
yeah, you would
glad.
have felt. I'm the same way. That's why I like when I hunt elk. I only go after bull elk
Yeah.
because I know
Yeah.
there's no chance of a fawn. So, but
But
yeah, I've gotten a few of them, and then I quit hunting elk and I went after wild hogs.
how many
This
hogs have you
Arizona,
killed?
huh?
How many hogs have you gotten?
Oh God, you had to ask. I don't know. I couldn't even begin to tell you. It's been uh, the numbers are probably upwards to 15, 20.
I've
I
heard they're
remember.
hard to. I've heard they're hard to butcher because they got really tough skin. Did you
No,
butcher them
no,
yourself or take them somewhere?
No, I do it myself.
Okay.
But no, they're not that hard. You just need a sharp knife. My
Gotcha.
my trick that I use when I'm going to cut them down the center line is I use a fillet knife for fish.
Hmm.
That's what I do. Just cheap Walmart knife, cut them right down, let the guts fall down into a bucket, unhook it all, and then from there I start cutting the slabs and chopping and everything. I also use a like around the ham areas and everything. I have a little. I used to have a little miniature chainsaw thing that I would use that would
Oh, like a
kind of.
sawzall deal?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, not a sawzall. It was more like a chainsaw. It actually had a. It was a miniature chainsaw, but it was only, you can't really see me, but it was so big.
Oh, like you
An
use for
electric.
cutting limbs and stuff.
Yeah,
I
I
just
would
call
use
that
it for
like a
cutting
pole
through
saw.
bone and things like that. Because I cleaned a hog a little differently than most people. I did it in sections,
Mm-hmm.
and like especially when you get around the ribs, I would do them in halves. So
Yeah.
uh, it just made it easier for my little itty bitty freezer I had to get the meat in there. But
So I'm gonna make all of you guys a promise this year. If I catch another catfish, it's gonna be fillet time.
all right, there you go.
Uh, but it's got to be out of one of the lakes I'm fishing because I was trying to say earlier, and I got distracted with the paranormal thing. Salt Creek has a no eating um, thing. They've cleaned it up a lot, but way back in the day, they had issues with chemicals from the fields and everything getting in the water and whatever. And they actually have a no. They don't want you to eat the fish out of the
Yeah,
creek. So to be better safe than sorry, I'm not going to eat any of the fish that I catch out of that creek.
yeah, that's probably a wise idea, brother.
Yeah, mercury levels and all that kind of stuff. You just don't know.
That's
You
like
know.
the fish that I catch out of the SRP canals here in Arizona. Unless I'm up near the dam where everything starts, I won't eat them either because by the time they float down, it'll come down from Granite Reef Dam. And by the time it goes through Mesa and it starts going through Phoenix and Scottsdale and all of that, and past the golf courses and apartment complexes and all that, all the pesticides and fertilizers and all that kind of stuff that ends up in those or waters, I should say. Um, the fish just they absorb it and they're just not good to eat. They're fun to catch, but they're just not good to eat.
When the creek when there's not a lot of rain in that big part of the creek, like behind my in-laws house where that little finger I fished feeds in, which is an old gravel boat ramp they dug out. So the guy that used to live there could get his boat in there, which is perfect because it's lined with rock and then it's dirt in the middle and then it's the dirt banks because I've got a short of it when the water's real far down.
Yeah,
And then you got a couple logs in there, man, and the bass and the fish just like laying right there because I've never caught anything in the big part, just in that finger. The water is the prettiest bluish green color you've ever seen. The moment it rains and everything gets all the mud and stuff, man, it turns muddy brown. And I've got a lot of my fish right there on dark lures because of that. But it is a gorgeous creek whenever the water's not
I
ripping
would.
through.
One of these days, I'm going to have to plan a trip to Indiana and fish that creek with you because I would love, love, love to bring one of my catfish rigs and just sit there and see if I could, if any flatheads or blue cats or anything are swimming around in there. Because I know you guys have blue cats. Arizona used to have blue cats, regardless of what anybody wants to say. Right? There is proof of it. We used to have blue cats. Technically speaking, we still do, but they've hybridized. Um, but I want to hook onto a big old 100-pound, 80-pound blue cat.
It'd be nice if you can bring your boat.
Yeah, I
My
could. I could.
father-in-law's got a boat, but it's not registered. As long as it's registered, I don't know if it has to be registered in the state of Indiana to use it, or it just has to be registered
Yeah, I'd have to
within the
look into
state.
that. My boat's registered and runs, and would be
But
perfect
you could
for it
back
because
it down that ramp if the water's up high enough, and then we could actually go on the creek. It'd be cool.
yeah, I mean that's this rack that I've got right here on
Uh-huh.
it. That's for catfish poles.
What's that thing behind you on the other
Which one?
side?
This?
Uh, It looks. See over your head on the other side. It look. Yeah. What is that
That
thing? Yeah.
that that right there, that's tail light trailer.
Oh. Okay.
Or
Yeah.
are you talking about this buoy right here?
No, you're good. I was talking about that thing. I'd seen it, but it's also kind of bright behind you a little bit. So.
Yeah, yeah, that's the right there,
Yeah.
tail light.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
That's
Cool.
tail light. There's the motor.
So what
Yeah.
kind of boat do you got?
I have a 1987 Alumacraft. It's just a 16-foot aluminum. It's called the Lunker V16.
Hmm.
And then I got a 1990 Johnson 40 horse two stroke, because two strokes the way we go. Four strokes for hippies. But uh, it's a boat joke. Uh,
Right.
but either way, yeah, that's what it is. I picked this boat up for, what did I pay for this boat? I don't even remember what I paid for it. I think I paid 1,800, something like that, 1,300, something like that. The guy wanted $3,300 for it, and I talked him down because he couldn't get it to run. And then I went through the motor on it, and I was looking at the fuel system and all of that, trying to figure out what was going on with it. So I rebuilt the carburetor on it, or carburetors. It's got two of them. And then what else did I do? I had to, the priming system I had to go through, had to put a starter on it because I burnt the starter out on it trying to start it. Was checking power to the coils and everything, and I could get it to kind of run, but the second you would put it into gear, it would just die. It would just right there. And I was like, this is weird. So I did the whole throttle sync thing 2 or 3 times to it. Long story short, I ended up taking the flywheel off of it, and I took it off one time to check the key because I thought the key could have been sheared and it looked fine. Right. So I put the flywheel back on. Well, then I'm like, I better check that again. This is like 2 weeks into this project. So I took the flywheel back off. This time, when I took the flywheel back off, I saw that the key was still stuck in the flywheel, but I'm like, wait a minute, that's going level with the surface of the flywheel. So I looked into the end of the crank snout there, and there was the other half of the key. And so I went down to Ace Hardware and I paid 65 cents for a key after investing about, I don't know, 120 bucks into other things on it. And I went and got another key, filed it down so it would fit, put it all back in there, hit the key. It's just ever since. So it was a 65-cent fix. And I did a bunch of other stuff to it that didn't need to be done, but oh well, it got done.
I'm not a
So,
boat guy, so whatever you said, as long as you got it started. All I know is boat means bring out another 1,000.
yep,
So,
yep,
hey,
bust out another 1,000. If
yeah.
it is, yep, that's an accurate thing. Especially, I've had other boats in the past. I have 4 boats,
Oh,
so this is my main one that I use. I also have another 16-foot Miracraft in the backyard I've had forever. It's got a bunch of little teeny tiny pinholes up high on the hull.
mhm.
From the previous owner, the boat was from Minnesota. This boat's also from Minnesota. Uh, don't you know? But the other boat's got these itty bitty little pinholes all over in it because the original owner put a deck in the boat, but he didn't use the right plywood. And so what it did is it started to uh, hold moisture, and it caused these little areas in the aluminum to where that like ate through them, like there was electrolysis or something going on there. So I've got to get a TIG welder and bring that boat around here and TIG weld each one of those little tiny holes. There's like 200 of them, little tiny holes shut.
Bye,
So
CL. Have a good
I'll see
night.
you later. So I
Yeah.
got to do that, and I got to construct some new aluminum bench seats for it because that boat I just want to make it really basic. Like this boat here is fully dressed, has a deck and seats and fish finder and all that. The other boat, I just want to put a couple of benches in it, put maybe a 20 horse Johnson that I have on the back of it with a tiller handle, and just make it a real basic boat for just, hopping around out there.
Yeah.
Then I got a 14-foot fiberglass Viking in the backyard that I cut the transom out of. It never finished. I'm going to end up getting rid of it. And then I have a 1960, what year is that? 1964 or 1965 uh, Glasstron in the backyard. A little 16-footer, like a little miniature ski boat that my neighbor behind me, when he moved out, he's all, "Can I store this boat here?" And he's like, because he was moving to another part in northern Arizona. I said, "Yeah, you can store it there for a little while. I don't mind that. That's fine." Well, he never came back for it. So that was like 7, 8 years ago that he moved. And it's just been sitting there and sitting there. And I haven't seen Lee in a long, long time. So he
Is
basically
it
abandoned it.
usable?
It really needs, I really should go through it. It's tore up now. He didn't put a cover on it or anything. It filled up with water. There's no motor on the boat. Um, I didn't get any kind of paperwork to it. So, like the trailer here in Arizona, I'd have to go through a bond on the trailer. And then, as far as the boat goes, I just go down to Game and Fish and say, "Look, it's been in my yard for so long, and it's registered in Arizona. I'd have to pay a $35 VIN tag fee and then the registration, and then I would have it. But the entire interior
Not
on it
worth
needs to
it.
be
Yeah.
redone. Yeah, it's just not worth messing with, you know. So um, I'm probably going to end up taking it to the dump or giving it away to somebody if they want to mess around with it. Because if someone had the money to go in there and maybe redo the floor and the carpet and all of that, and the seats, because it's got those back-to-back seats like a ski boat would have. And if you had a good outboard to put on it, it would actually be a fairly collectible boat and worth a little bit of cash because they didn't make very many of them.
Is it aluminum or fiberglass?
It's fiberglass.
So you'd have to know how to do. If you watch a guy named AO Fishing, he bought a houseboat, and he had to redo all the fiberglass because it was weakened, and like redo everything, and there's a lot of work. Boat, you have to be careful because
Yeah,
it ain't taking much on weak fiberglass to sink your whole vessel, and then you're screwed.
yeah, like
But
that
yeah,
Viking. That Viking I have to put a new transom in it, and I was going to go buy the marine plywood. I just never went and did it. And I cut the whole transom out of the back of it, and then I was just going to refiberglass the fiberglass pieces back into place. But I found this other product that you can buy. It's kind of expensive. It'd be about $500, but you just put the fiberglass back in place, and then you build a partition in front of it about inch and a half thick, inch thick or so, and it's called pour in transoms, and it's
hmm.
this stuff. It's like epoxy, and you just pour it in, and you let it harden, and you keep it in form, and it bonds to the boat, creates a transom, plugs the holes. I mean, it was pretty cool stuff, but yeah, it's just too much money. So I got a couple junk boats back there. I'm gonna get rid of.
Well, I am gonna jump off of here, and we've been talking for an hour and 13 minutes, so I'm getting hungry.
All
And
righty.
thank you for helping me figure out this live stream thing. And now
Hey,
that we
no
both
problem,
know
John.
how it works and all that stuff, so we had 11 likes, which is awesome. And
Yep.
so, guys, go check out American Defender YouTube channel for all your fishing and firearms needs and
All
whatnots. And
sorts of stuff. I do all sorts of crazy stuff on there. I'm not just a gun guy. I just whatever's outdoors or paranormal or whatever I feel like I want to talk about.
yep.
You'll learn a lot of stuff from me because I might only be in my mid 40s, but I've been around the block. So
Yeah. All right, Perlman. Yeah, man, we'll get together, dude. It's super easy now that I know how to do this, and you don't need anything other than your phone. Literally. What is it called?
America,
Uh,
my
the
channel?
his YouTube channel is American Defender. He's got a picture of it's still the eagle with the American flag, right? For
No,
your
now I've changed all of that. The background is an American flag with a oh, I'm not going to remember the word here. A crusader kneeling
Yeah,
before
yeah,
the
yeah.
cross.
There you go.
I changed it to
Well,
that.
guys, this has been fun. Thanks, Jimmy. And I'm
Yeah,
gonna
no
go get
problem,
some
brother.
pizza that's been cooling on the stove for about an hour. So I'll see you guys later.
See y'all on the flip.